Hello everybody, thanks for joining the channel today. In this video, by a special request, I'm going to show how to set up the game After Dark for TeknoParrot. Now, if you see some Chinese writing in the subtitles in this video, my viewer is actually of Chinese language, so I want to do my best to try to make sure this will come across straight to him as well. So my channel didn't get hacked or anything. The Chinese subtitles are intentional. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and continue on. So this is going to be for TeknoParrot After Dark. As always, I can't tell you where to get it. I'll give hints and clues where I can. We're going to do this setup from start to finish. So we're going to install a new TeknoParrot all the way into playing the game. If you're on a Sinden gun, you actually don't need to use a Reshade for this. You can just use our border button or Alt+B to bring the border up. And that's just what I do. We can do Reshade, and I go into Reshade later on to show you how to do it, which it probably does need its own video. Reshade's not too hard, but it's one of those things where you don't know, you just don't know. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this started. And thank you, viewer, for the suggestion, and I hope this helps you out. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get your TeknoParrot folder created. If you're already a familiar experience with TeknoParrot, then these first few steps might not be for you, and you can just skip ahead to the game installation and my hints on how to find it. So with this first part is going to be for true beginners, and even a refresher for some experienced ones. So go ahead and just create a new folder, and just name it TeknoParrot. Okay, now the first thing that you'll need to do, actually make sure you spell it correctly. I did not. All right, good enough. You want to open up your Windows Defender. So you'll just go to your settings on your computer. Go to privacy and security, Windows security, virus threats and protection. Now, I have mine turned off. That's up to you if you want to. It's probably not recommended to totally turn your Defender off, but that's just how I keep mine. Mine's usually just straight for gaming on this one. I don't really keep any of my personal data on this, and I usually trust what I'm downloading. Okay, so anyways, I'll go to virus threats and protection settings. We'll go to manage settings. Just go ahead and turn this off while you're setting this up, especially before you do any downloading. And then you can just turn it back on if you want once we're done. But you'll need to go to exclusions, add or remove exclusions, and we're going to add the TeknoParrot folder that we have created. Or if you just have one drive solely for games, you can select that entire drive and everything's going to be fine. The reason why we do this, especially when it comes to games with TeknoParrot, they'll come with a lot of custom .dll files, and Defender does not like those .dll files it can't recognize. So it's going to falsely flag those as viruses, as malware. And whenever you extract them, because about everything comes in a zip format, so whenever you extract those games out, you're going to have some missing files, or the game itself just might totally get deleted automatically once that happens. So this will prevent that from happening. So we're just going to select that. I think I did something wrong here, so let me try that again. Oh no, that's right. So I want my TeknoParrot selected, and then we're just going to hit select folder. All right, just scroll to say find it. So right here, my TeknoParrot is now secure from any craziness Defender might do on it. So go ahead and safely close these windows out. Now the game itself, we actually need to get TeknoParrot installed. So let's go ahead and get that part done. All right, so just TeknoParrot home, or you can just hit the straight download link. We're going to hit download right here. And we're going to do the installer. Do these as well. I think the Bootstrapper, whenever we download it, actually does cover this. But if it doesn't, I'll note you and come back and download these. A lot of programs do need these. So just keep that in mind. If you have something working or not working, but other people say it does work, chances are you're probably missing one of those two files, especially when it comes to TeknoParrot. I'm going to download the Bootstrapper. Open this up. I want to right click on this because I'm using 7-zip. I want to show more. Where's my properties? And I want to unblock. And it's just good practice on any file you have. You're not going to have that option with every file, but always check it. And if you do, always unblock it. Again, that just keeps Defender from doing its craziness thing that it likes to do. All right, so now I'm going to go to our TeknoParrot folder. We're going to right click, paste that. And then we're going to open this up. We're just going to drag and drop all this out. You can delete that if you want to now. I am just keep things cleaner, and do make sure you have this zip window closed when you do that. We want to try again. Now it's gone. And we're going to run the TP Bootstrapper exe. Okay, and you can see right here what's being downloaded. So we do have the old DirectX runtimes at a part of this download, but the visual CC is not, and the other direct ones are not as well. First, we want to select our TeknoParrot folder. I want to hit yes. That's where I want it. That's going to be the same location right here. And then we're going to hit full install. And it's just going to check to make sure all these files are right here. Now we're going to go back here. Now, like I said, these do not run these as well. So you can just click on that to run it and click on this to run it. If you're really running anything off of Steam or any games, chances are you already have this. And this might be a 50-50 shot. If you ever run Launchbox, if you run Retrobat, you probably have this on there. But if you haven't really ran any other front ends, I would run this anyways, just to make sure your bases are covered. All right, and everything looks good here. Hit OK. TeknoParrot's completed. It seems like you're doing it for the first time. I'm going to hit yes. Do you want to close it? Yes. I already have my other copy running, my test copy before I started all this. We're just going to accept everything it's asking us. No game setup. I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to do that right now. And I'm just going to skip the setup. I'm just going to go straight to TeknoParrot. Do you want to add one now? No, because right now I don't have anything to add on. And we can just click up here and see add game library. So we have everything right here. So if we do add games, we can do it from here. So while we are here already, let's go ahead and do some settings. The only game we're focused on today is going to be After Dark. So I do want After Dark. So I know I am going to add that on. Going to hit add game. And let's go into our settings for a TeknoParrot. Overall settings. And you have all this. Dark mode just darkens it up or not. I like dark mode, so I'm going to put mine in dark mode. You can play around with these if you want. I usually just leave it as is. Full access. So if you're doing wheel settings, you can probably check these out. I don't mess with the wheels as of yet, so I can't really recommend what you can do from there. All of these you can just leave as is. And there's really nothing more you need to do. Just dark mode if you want it on. If you don't, leave it off. And we're just going to save our settings. Now you can download the force feedback plugins. And you have your ones right here. That would be for driving, for your native recoil on your gun for these games. Now, do keep in mind though, if you want those enabled, that is paywalled behind the subscription, so you do have to subscribe to that. Me, I'm not subscribed. It just always says subscribe for whatever reason, but I'm not subscribed to this. I run a totally free version. And you can get away with about 9% of the games, probably 95% of the games on TeknoParrot using the free version. All right, now I want to go ahead and check out the game settings itself. And we don't have the game in here yet, so we're not going to worry about this. It should be in raw input. Unless you want to use a controller, then you can probably go to XInput. I want to use my guns, so if you're using your guns, go raw input. Windows mode if you want. Usually just leave it off. Again, you don't need to set Windows mode for the border to come on for Sinden. It will come on for you. Everything else here looks good. Adjust that if you want, but do make sure that your scaling when playing TeknoParrot is always at 100%. If it's not at 100%, your aiming for some games is going to be off. Make sure you save that. All right, now the fun part, and let's go find the game. And this is going to be the hardest part about this, because I can't tell you. And, you know, some sites I just don't want out right now because, you know, resources. But I will give you the best keywords that I can to help guide you. Okay, so what we're looking for is, it's going to say After Dark TeknoParrot Standalone. I'm not going to show you the results like I did in the last video, but what you're looking for should come up in your first to 3 results. And you may have to dig a little bit into the website, but you'll find some links. Some may work, some may not, but they're good links. So if they do work, they're not going to F up your computer or anything. And that's where I pulled the one that I'm using for this. Now I can show you the file itself, and I can show you that the size roughly of what we're looking for. And there may be two possible file sizes of that for two reasons. One, you have the unmodded, untouched version, and then you have the version that's already pre-packed with what it needs is a 4 GB patch. Now, FYI, if you don't have the patch on it, that's fine. Whenever you run it through TeknoParrot, it's actually going to ask us if you want to patch it. So it will do that part for us. Now, if you want the exact one I have, when it comes in zip, it's going to read just like this. It's going to have 569, 65 kilobytes. So basically 5.5 megs. Yeah, so 556 megabytes. If it's bigger, that's fine. There is a pre-patch or a post-patch version, and that should work as well. It just may not ask you for the patch. All right, so anyways, what you're going to do is open it up, and you're going to... Actually, not going to open it up. You're going to right-click it, and you're going to extract it into a folder, whatever you're using. It doesn't matter. WinRAR, for this one, it's in 7Z format, so I want to do 7Z. Show more options, 7-zip, and I'm just going to hit extract to that one. And once you do, you're going to have a folder that's going to look like that. So I'm actually going to take this and cut it out because this is in my test run. And we'll put it into our fresh TeknoParrot. And we don't have a games folder, so I will proceed to create a games folder. Sorry if I'm a bit slow today. I'm just going to call it games. You can call it whatever you want. I'm going to create another one. I'm going to call it units, just because I like to keep my TeknoParrot games broken up by their platform and also by their developers. So units, raw thrills, whatever you want. Just make sure you have the entire word together if you go that route, because some directories just don't like it when you put spaces into things. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this now. That's the zip. This is how I want to extract it. Go Go to 7-zip. If you're using Windows 10, then you won't need to put that show more. It should automatically come up for you, just like this. I use Windows 11. It is what it is. Hit that. We wait a few seconds. Depending on your system, it may take longer, may go faster. And then you're going to have this folder right here. You can keep the zip if you want. I'm going to go ahead and keep it as a backup until I can confirm this game is running the way I want it to. So now we're this far in. We're going to go to TeknoParrot. We're going to close this out. It'll let me. All right, so I'm going to open this up. Checking for updates, and yes, do update your TeknoParrot even if it's a brand new one just like this. Do install your updates because this doesn't come with everything it needs as stock. So definitely be sure to update first thing before you do anything, which that should have been the first step that I'd done anyways. But TeknoParrot's going to shut itself off, and it's going to restart, and you'll have the newer, fresher version of it. And I can just click on that, and you can see what it's doing here. As you can tell, it's doing a lot. All right, close, reopened. And now we're good to go here. All right, double check my settings just to make sure nothing has changed that I need to change. Everything looks good there. I want to go back, open up my After Dark game settings again. And we're good. Now, this game, like Deathstorm Pirates, it does have a wheel, and you don't need to do any checking for the rotary encoder access that you need to do with Deathstorm. So you just map your wheel, and it works right out the gate without doing anything special on your Lightgun. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and get After Dark game setup. Go to game setups, and now we have our game file here. We're looking for the gameplayer.exe. Real easy to find. And I want to go back to the drive it's on, so we're on D. This is on the T drive. Then I want to go into a TeknoParrot, go into games, units folder, After Dark Arcade, and gameplayer.exe. I want to open that up. And my game is set. Just check all these, make sure it's the way you want it. They all look fine to me. I want to save my settings. Now you gotta start controller up. Do make sure you already have your gun program going. Mine is to Sinden, so it's going fine. I'm going to need my border up to put that up. If you're Gun4IR, make sure your Gun4IR program's going. Aimtrack, same for you. Retro Shooter does not need a program. However, make sure all your hardware is connected, your lights are going, to make sure you're good on that gun as well. And do make sure you're in mouse mode. Okay, so I'm gonna go over my buttons real quick for you. So on my test menu, I use F2. On my keyboard, you can use whatever button you want. Test menu up, I use my gun directional pad. So up's going to be test menu up, test menu down is going to be D-pad down. Emergency stop, I guess that's the physical button on the machine. So I guess the machine itself got shaky. So I guess you can use that to stop the movement of the machine. I think that mostly takes part in the part where you're driving. I don't know if you need to map it, but I mapped it as my middle button, as that'd be my most unused button. coin up one. It's basically my off-screen start button. And then, of course, if you look down my star, that's on my on-screen start button, which on my Sinden, I always map that to my front right. Wheel left, that's just going to be my D-pad to the left. Wheel right, wheel pad to the right, or D-pad to the right. And, of course, Lightgun, you want to pick your Lightgun. Start, again, that's going to be my front right button on my Sinden. For everyone else, I think that's your number 1. So whatever your keyboard 1 is on your gun, it'll be that number. Your coin's going to be keyboard number 5 on your gun. I'm not doing 2 players, but all you do is you just take your second player and do the same thing. The wheel's only controlled by player 1, so you don't need to map a wheel for player 2 as well. Only 1 controls that. Alright, save our settings. Now, you may need to restart this game twice. I restarted this once on my test Sinden, so we'll see what I need to do on this. The reason being, the game might ask you a couple things. Okay, now here's the patch. This one doesn't have the patch, so yes, I do want that installed. Just hit yes. I'm going to go through this loading screen right here. When it starts the game, it may ask you again. Something about online feedback or whatever. Just hit OK if it does ask you that. In other words, whatever it asks you, just hit OK. Now, the first time around, this game didn't really start up quickly for me. So I want to pretend that you might have some issues out the gate. So we're just going to escape out of that. And then just restart the game again. And you should get a much more cleaner boot up this time around, especially if you had issues in the past. Alright, so now we're just going to wait for the game to start. If you're on Sinden, go ahead and put your border up. That's going to be Alt+B on your keyboard, or if you have a border button mapped to your gun, it'll be that too. Let's go check out the test menu. Now, you can do your gun settings and calibrate it if you wanted to, but out the gate, I mean, the gun felt fine to me. I didn't need to do it. But you can just go in here, hit your F2 as your enter, then F2 again to save and exit. Coin settings, you hit down or up to change that. I want to go 0, free games. For coins, gun settings, input data. You just see what's going on there, output data, so you can test your vibration. I don't know how well that actually works since my Sinden doesn't have the recoil function. Which is fine by me. Difficult settings. I want to bump that up to normal. Exit and a bloody grade. I don't know if 1 means more blood or 3 does. So let's go ahead and try out 3. If my blood comes out green, then I guess 1's going to be the bloodiest. Alright, and honestly, everybody, that is it. I'll do a little bit of a playthrough to test it out, and we'll play all the way through the driving part to show you that the driving mechanics does work.
This is the village! It must be Lucian again!
Looks like we arrived too late.
I have a bad feeling about this.
These werewolves used to be the village people?
Those who were bitten by Lucian all turned into werewolves.
Oh my! Scary!
We must kill Lucian before things get worse.
There's some here too.
It looks like there are no survivors.
These baths have been contaminated too. Lucian is not here.
Let's go find him. Get in the car.
Hurry! We are going too fast.
Carl, control the direction.
Look out! We are going to crash.
Leave it to me! Don't worry!
Werewolves are coming.
Kill them.
All right, everybody. That is it. And the steering does work great. I'm just horrible at that part. Anyways, I hope that helped you all out, and you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye.